Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. I know everybody ready because this is the month of love. Well, it's the month of love for me and a lot of other people worldwide that celebrate this wonderful morning. So I tell you what, today, do me a favor. If you are joining us from somewhere other than Kansas City or Oakland Park, then put it in the box. Let me know where you're from. If you have a business, make sure you put the name of your business in the box. Y'all know me. I support small businesses, and we need to make sure we get our name out there over and over again. So thank you for joining on this wonderful cold Saturday morning. Well, it's cold in Kansas City, so y'all know where I'm from. It's cold here in Kansas City. We in the single digits for the last week, but that's okay because every day gets us closer and closer to spring, right? Yes. So thank you for joining us with Inspiring Hope, where I encourage you to have only positive expectations through true self-care. And today is going to be a special day because it is Valentine's Day tomorrow, but it's still, you know what? We got to celebrate stuff more than one day. One day just ain't enough. What you think about that?
I agree with you. I mean, most people, we celebrating all weekend. So
I know that's
any
right.
excuse to celebrate love, right?
Right, exactly. Well, I have a wonderful guest with me this morning. I want to thank you for coming here at the last minute. This is Miss Ava Laura in
Thank
the
you so much
house.
for having me, Tracy. I appreciate you.
I love her first name, right? It's like two of them squished together. So anytime you got two goodies, you might as well put them together, right?
That's exactly what it is. My mama said, you know what? I like both of these. I don't want to choose one, so I'm going to just put them together.
Amen. Smart mama. I love that. Well, she is a wonderful woman. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her in just a moment here. We got one more guest that's going to be joining us. And so I want you guys to welcome him back because if you missed him the first time, then he's here again. His name is Gregory Smith. So some of you may remember him, some of you may not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Welcome back. What's going on, Mr. Gregory Smith?
Yes, how you doing? How everybody doing out there?
We're doing wonderful. I want you to meet my other guest. Her name is Ava Laura Gaither.
Hello.
How you doing? Hello.
I'm good.
Well, I'm excited
I'm trying to
about
make
this
sure I got
weekend. I
enough
don't know
lighting
about
so
y'all.
y'all can
I
see me.
love Valentine's Day. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't love it for the candies or the flowers. Actually, I'm not a candy flower girl. Never have been. What about you? Hey, Laura, what about you?
I mean, I like Valentine's Day when I'm in a healthy relationship. I mean, when you single, it kind of sucks. But I mean, when you in a good, healthy relationship, it's awesome.
Yes, yes. You know what? Hey, great segue. Great segue because we're going to be talking all about love, relationships, and marriage, right? Love and marriage go together like, you know what? Okay, y'all know the song. So, Greg, what about you as a guy? Are you a flowers and candy kind of guy for Valentine's Day?
To receive or to give?
Both, either one. Tell us something.
I'm pretty basic for myself. I don't like I like the usual socks, boxers, stuff like that. Men's body wash. But to give, yes, I am a flower type of guy. The jewelry, the dating out, going to restaurants. I'm pretty much the general when it comes there, but I do get creative within my Valentine's Day gifts.
Okay, that's awesome. I love having a man's perspective. I love it. It's awesome. So this is really cool, you guys, and I love the things that you brought up. You, Miss Avalor, you done brought us right into what we're gonna be talking about today, right? It's all about love and relationships, and I've been posting it out there. What's love got to do with it? Because even though that's a lot of people have that question in their mind. What's love got to do with it? I just want them to pay the bills, or I just want this person for sex. We grown up. Let's just be real. Y'all know what I'm saying is true, right? People think like this, right? And so we might not always think that way, but we want to talk about what's healthy versus what's unhealthy relationship, and making sure that we're able to get that clear with people so they can know what to expect what to accept and what to not accept, how to set up those
Mm,
boundaries, how to say, you ain't the one for me. Or like, yeah, I like this one. Right? Even when we're not used to getting something that's really good for us. So I'm gonna do my official intro this morning. All right. So Miss Ava Laura, she believes in this like embrace all that you are in service to the world and to your highest and most incredible life. The journey awaits for no one, right? But it begins right now. Right now. Right now. So I believe that's true. I love that. So this is a challenge for Avalor. She's the internationally celebrated intuitive consultant and life coach. Avalor passionately assists individuals who dare to live in their best lives. She takes her clients from whole to wholeness in their life. And when I say whole, I mean HOLE, right? Like there's something missing, right?
yes.
To completeness, fullness. And
Yes.
that's what we all need. We deserve that abundance in our life, right? From relationships and business by guiding them through a powerful healing process that helps them discover who they are, who they wish to be, and how they get there, right? If now is the time for you to live a freedom focused life, detox yourself of limiting beliefs that no longer serve you, and create an unrecognizable reality, then Ava Laura is the guide you've been waiting on. Avalor is a licensed graduate social worker who holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in social work. Additionally, she's a trained Reiki master teacher, certified life coach, and spiritual counselor, hypnotherapist, holistic aromatherapist, and meditation instructor. So that's just a little bit about her. And so talk to us a little bit about healthy and unhealthy relationships. What made you want to get into this with people?
Ooh, so that's definitely a loaded question. In terms of what made me want to get into it, what I would say, most people who will tell you who are in the service industry, right? Social work, psychology, counseling. My background is in mental health and social work. That's where I started. And I now transition into being a life coach, which is very similar, but using different skills and different techniques. And I've always been that person wanting to help other people to improve their lives. I'm the oldest of 3 children. I grew up, I was bossy, leading, telling everybody what to do. My advice worked. I was like, hey, I can get paid to do this and help other people. That's what I want to do with my life. And
Bossy.
so that's what I've been doing. And I've been the owner and operator of Avalora's Healing Center for the last 15 years. And I love it. I love my clients. I have my own journey of coming from the social work mental health field, being very unfulfilled, like you talked about, working at this job. I thought I had arrived. I, got my degrees, did everything everybody told me, thought I had arrived, and I was miserable in my job. Instead of feeling like I was helping people to heal and to change and to really transform and have better lives, I was really just helping people to maintain their dysfunction. And that's not what I signed up for. That's
I
not
can relate to
right.
that.
That's not what I signed up for. I was like, I didn't go to school for this. This is not what I stayed up late nights and working and getting to this point where I'm just helping people to merely just survive. I want to help people to thrive. And so I ended up in this career being extremely unhappy, getting depressed, feeling stuck. And, long story short, not going into all the details of getting fired from my job. And, at first, of course, I was hurt. I was upset. But I realized it was an answered prayer because I was truly praying to God, like, I can't live like this anymore. You got to get me out. And literally, when I got back to work after having this sort of emotional breakthrough moment, I got fired. And that was my freedom papers. That was my freedom papers. After that, I really made the decision. I took what I call my 6-month healing sabbatical, where I really did my own personal work. And I think it's important for people to understand that, because I can't call myself a life coach and a counselor and healer and all these things if I'm not doing my own work. But I did my own work. I took 6 months where I did my own coaching and counseling, and a lot of the things that I learned, Reiki and meditation and yoga and all these things. I took that, and then I opened up Avalora's Healing Center. And that was in November of 2005. And I do this work because I can. I do this work because it is my purpose, because it is my passion, because when I did the work of who am I and why am I here and how can I truly assist and make this world a better place, this is what I learned that I can do hands down better than anybody else. And so there are so many people, like you said, who aren't whole, right? Who aren't complete, who aren't thriving, who aren't happy, who are living these lives that don't resemble what they thought they would look like, who thought they had arrived and got to a certain place of success and like, damn, I'm not even happy. Like, how did I end up here? And, we're talking about relationships, but relationships is a huge part of that, and that you work so hard in your career, you build all of this, and then you realize you don't have healthy, fulfilling relationships, and all of this success that you've created, you have no one to share it with, and or you're sharing it with people who don't respect you, who don't honor you, who don't value you. And so you're attracting all the wrong people in your life. And so relationships, one of the areas that I learned is that it doesn't matter what else you have going on in your life. If you don't have love, if you don't have healthy relationships, you will not be fulfilled.
Yeah, so true, so true. Oh my gosh, that's all kind. That's look years of stuff in a nutshell right there. But
Absolutely.
and it is kind of weird, but the same thing that we're drawn to is the same thing that can take us down. So you have all this passion and compassion to help and to heal and to bring wholeness, and then you go into that field and you think, okay, hey, I'm ready. We're gonna do this. The people
Yes.
around me, and it can end up to being toxic. Even though every workplace is not like that, but some places can be very toxic for you. But like
Absolutely.
you said, when that door opens, I believe when God closes one door, He opens like so
That's
many
right.
more, right? Because He's a God that multiplies. He doesn't just add to it, right? So it's not like
Mm-hmm.
one door closes and so one more door is open. That's not true. Like I think there is several more doors that will open up to you. And if you ever really want to make money, and yes, I see if that offends you, then you need to see me about, your money blueprint. So if you ever want to really make money and you want to help people and heal people, social services is probably not the field in the workplace for you. But you definitely can do that on your own terms, for sure. Thank you for joining
Absolutely.
us, everybody. I appreciate you. Much love out to you, YouTube family, for showing up, and much love out to my Facebook family for showing up this morning. Make sure that you share this because we have so many people with unhealthy relationships. And I want to
Mm-hmm.
jump into something really deep right quick so we can kind of really get into this because I know so many people need this. So many people in different relationships, like narcissistic relationships, and then so many people that are in marriages that are scared to get out of marriages or don't know if
Yep.
they should get out of marriages. Now, mind you, I've been married 24 years, y'all. Okay, on the 23rd of this month, it'll be 24 years. But
Congratulations.
thank you so much. That's all the grace of God because I never thought that I could stay with one person forever. I didn't know I could meet somebody that would actually put up with me. So
Mm.
So we're gonna talk about even healthy tips for a marriage. What
Yeah.
creates that lasting relationships?
Yeah.
And if you guys have some tips, I want you to jump in here too and throw them in the comment section for me. Right? Not now, but in about 5 to 10 minutes, I want you to join in and give me that information. So talk to us a little bit about what are some clues that this is unhealthy, and what are some things that say
Mm.
this is what a healthy relationship should be like or can be like.
Yeah, there's a lot of clues, and really what I find is that in talking to women and men, because there's certainly men who are in manipulative, abusive, toxic relationships as well, is that the signs are always there, but most times you don't see them, or you're being overly optimistic, right? And so you are denying what you see right in front of you. Everybody else can point it out and tell you, but you're trying to make it work. You're committed to the relationship, and so you pretty much just ignore what you see. And so the first thing is really stop ignoring what you see, right? Because the signs are there. Most of us have them, even if we're not totally in tune with our intuition. You see things and things. And so it's not writing it off, it's allowing yourself to feel your feelings and acknowledge like what's actually happening, and not be in this sort of Disney fairy tale, like, oh no, that's not really happening. He's not really doing that, or it's not really that bad, or it doesn't really hurt. When the truth is, it does hurt, and it is that bad. And you do need to address it and do something about it. And so some of the signs are, it's bad. Like, it's bad and you still stay. You're not being validated. You're not being treated the way that you want to. And, sometimes we talk about abuse. Sometimes it's not outward abuse. You're not being verbally abused or anything like that. But maybe you don't have enough intimacy, right? Maybe you don't have enough affection. Maybe you just aren't getting your needs met. And so you're not being abused, but you're not getting your needs met.
So that sounds like, so hold on, that sounds like a little neglect right there, right?
Neglect. Absolutely.
So what you're saying is we need that emotional support as well, male and female, right?
Male and female. We need that intimacy. We need a safe space to be vulnerable, right? If you're trying to share your hopes and your dreams and what's going on and they always get shot down, so you can't fully share yourself, yeah, that's neglect. You don't have a safe space to fall. You don't have the support, right, that you need. And so all of those things are just as important as those outward things, like you talked about, paying the bills, making sure that your household physical needs are being met. We talk a lot about physical needs, but those emotional needs, those spiritual needs, those mental needs are just as, if not more important than the physical, because that's where people start to mentally die in their heads. They start to disappear. They start to shrink. They start to hold back. They start to feel less of themselves because they're not really being supported and validated and loved. And then, yes, the manipulation and the control. Absolutely, that's something that is very easy to recognize, right? When somebody is steering you in the direction that they want, but there's not necessarily in the best direction for you. Controlling your movements, telling what you can and cannot do, what you should and should not do, those things. But sometimes we don't recognize the subtleties. The subtleties when you're not being outwardly manipulated or controlled, you're just not really being loved.
Right. So that's a lot of good tips right there, and I love some of the comments that Karen is showing in the box here. So yeah, we need that true love. And so, what's your strongest definition of love? Where do we find that to you your strongest definition?
Yeah, there's lots of different definitions of love, and so obviously we have romantic love. We have the friendly love, we have the love of our family, familial love. We also have the love of God, right? And the love of service and humanity. And so there's different types of love. And I think ultimately, truthfully, so I teach my couples a lot about love languages, right? And ultimately, instead of looking at a broad definition of love, is really looking at, what does love mean to you? Because that is how your perception of love is going to define how you feel loved or not within your relationships. So you need to be very clear about, what do you think love is? What does love feel like to you? And where did you learn about love, right? Who taught you about love? Did you learn it from your family? Did you not learn it from your family because you've never seen healthy relationships, or they haven't been modeled for you? And so I think that's really the important thing, of really looking within yourself and looking at, well, how do I define love? Is my definition of love healthy? Right? Is it unhealthy? Is my definition of love, like a Disney movie? It's so unrealistic. It's not going to be no white knight shining and, coming to rescue me and save the day and take care of all my needs. Right? And so I think it's important for people, because that's what happens.
I want my black knight to come and say.
Listen, she said, my black knight. I don't want the white knight. But you know what? But that's what I see this all the time in couples counseling, that people are not happy, and it's not because they're not with a good partner, but because they're not speaking the same love language. They have totally different expectations of what loves look like. And so one is like, well, I love her, I'm doing all this stuff. She's like, well, that ain't love. Like, this is what I want. I want my bills paid, or, I want you to give me gifts. And he's like, well, baby, I'm telling you, I love you, but that's not love. And so those are the things that you really have to look at and be on the same page at, is, what does love mean to you? How do you define love? Is your definition of love healthy love? And where did those definitions come from? Where did your idea of love come from?
Right. I love that. Those are some really great points. And one of those things that you said is like one of my tips for keeping a strong, healthy relationship, especially in a marriage, is being able to know your partner's love language.
Yes.
what does love mean to them? Because it's different for everybody at the same time. So that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I believe it's 12 o'clock your time, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I know that went really quick. So we're going to have you back sometime, possibly. But before you go, I want you, just talk to them. How can they get in touch with you if somebody does want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll put it in the comments. You can reach me at avalaura.com, Avalaura. I am Googleicious. I am so easy to find. I'm the only Ava Laura. So if you type in Ava Laura, you will get me. If you go to my website, you can request a consultation. You can follow me on social media. I am everywhere. Tracy and I connected on Facebook. So I'm very easy to find on social media as well. And I'm going to leave a free gift for you, which is my self-care audit. I believe that self-care is self-love in action. How you
Yes.
take care of yourself demonstrates how much you truly love yourself. And so this self-care audit lets you look at where am I falling short in taking care of myself and where am I doing well? And so it kind of helps you to see that so you can improve that and take better care of yourselves, because most of us, the truth is, we're not taking care of ourselves. And we say we want love, right? And we say we love ourselves, but then we don't even love on ourselves. And so this self-care audit will help you to do that.
All right. I love that. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. We're going to bring up another guest speaker here. And I did put Ava Laura in the box there. So even if you're in the YouTube family, make sure that you go out to her website, visit her, and get in touch with her. If you think that you need her, you can make sure like she said, she's Googleicious. So there is some help out there, so I know I joke around a lot, but there is some help out there if we are in a relationship or not in a relationship and decide, should I be in one, because I've been in one before, it didn't work out, and I seem to get attract the same thing over and over. Miss Avalor can really help you break those cycles and get you to a different place in life where you can get the things that you want, and not only what you want, but what you deserve, what you are worthy of, those type of things. And so thank you again for joining us.
Thank
I
you for
loved
having
having
me.
you. Catch you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Take care,
Happy
y'all. Have a
Valentine's
good
Day.
day.
Well, look who is back. Mr. Gregory Smith out there chilling. But
I first need to
thanks for
apologize
coming.
because I had gave you Pacific Standard Time and we're Eastern
Oh, yeah, that's true. Different time zones. So
Standard
let me
Time.
share with you guys. I'm going to
So
share with
that's
you
why my
guys.
timing was so thrown off.
Okay. I want to share with you my three. Hold on. Okay. So hold on, because you're kind of breaking up a little bit. So I want to share with you all some points that I think about, some dynamic things that we can learn from each other about relationships and keeping those healthy relationships and keeping them lasting for a while, right? So my 3 tips of the day, the first one you already heard was kind of a giveaway, right? One is, first, know your partner's love language. Know what says I love you to them, because definitely if giving gifts and things like that is not your language, then that's not going to make you happy at all. You're going to be totally upset. And sometimes men will assume that a woman just wants wants you to give her something. So, like, I'm kind of the opposite, right? I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like somebody to give me something, but I don't want flowers and candies for Valentine's Day, and I don't want jewelry for Valentine's, right? So part of my love language, my main love language, is I love spending that quality time, right? That tells me you love me. I love when you listen to me, right? That tells me, hey, he cares about what I'm saying, what I'm thinking, and what I want, those kind of things, to help me reach those goals, right? So that's my one. So Greg, tell us a little bit about what to you is your love language for you, and what's your love language for your sweetheart? Because you got somebody that you've been with for a while.
Yes, yes. And like my love language is the partnership, the teamwork, us doing things together, going out, having fun, communicating, sharing like goals and stuff like that. And I know some people love language is, touch, physical. I'm not so much of a touch person. I don't mind the holding the hand. But my partner, her love language is affirmations. She loves to hear that, how good she's looking, just like any woman. She loves to hear that she's pretty this morning. She loves to have me hold her. And so I completely agree with the last lady we had on. You have to know the other person's love language in order for your relation, as part of your relationship, in order for it to thrive. And once you learn that, it does make things a lot easier for you guys because you know exactly what it is they're looking for. And we all human. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we lose, where we're going. But at the end of the day, try to, that's something that does need to be worked on. And it's a consistent, building a habit, consistently staying on it and utilizing those things and embracing them. And when you do learn these love languages from other people, I mean, from your significant other, what so have you, try to be creative with it. Don't always let it be the same.
Right. Okay, so my second tip is learn how to agree to disagree. Because you ain't gonna
Yeah,
always agree. Especially when you've been
that's
with
so
somebody
true.
20 something years. That's almost half my life, y'all. Oh wow. Okay, so I had to think about it. I don't mind telling my age now, but I'm just saying, like, so yeah, it's really important to not um get caught up on the small things, right? Because those small things can be killers,
Right.
Because if you really plan on staying with somebody for a long time, you're going to go through some stuff, right? It might not be stuff that either one of you have done, but it might be something that happens to you, right? And you got to learn how to make it through those hard times together. So, like they always say, well, the old people used to always say, either those hard times are going to make you or break you. And that is so true. And so, what's one of your tips for what keeps you guys together? Because you have a unique relationship. So, we talked a little bit about the personal development stuff. So, tell us a little bit about that. Some things that you do.
All right. As far as our relationship,
Yeah.
okay. One of the things I would like to share is that yes, the Five Love Languages is a book that we're gonna start reading. So when it comes down to like personal development, how I talk, we read books together. We read Michael Todd's book together, and it I don't remember the title, but it helped us, and it may help others. And that's what I'm sharing is because there's certain conversations that I might not feel comfortable to bring up, or she might not feel comfortable to bring up. But so what we did was we used outsources to help us bring up those, like, we quote unquote elephant in the room, and that's a personal development within our relationship as far as like growing together. This how in a relationship you start to grow together because you have to do things together. So we started reading books. We started having conversations, and off them conversations and the books, we started to enlighten each other of what our differences is. So believe it or not, reading these books and having these conversations will strike a nerve in you as well as the other. And it's gonna be like, oh man, I always wanted to talk about that, but I didn't know how. Well, you know what? Here you go. Because see, what it does is it put both of you guys in the room in an uncomfortable situation, but you can't run from it. And see, what happening is that if you run from it, or if your significant other runs from it, it lets the other person or each other know this is a target. This is something we need to talk about. This is something in our relationship that needs to be discussed. And so what it is it builds courage. And if you really want to, grow your relationship with this person, you got to take it head on. You got to take it what it is. Hey, you know what? You as you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about this. Let's get this. We ain't sweeping this on the rug. Let's get this out in the open. Let me know how you feel. One of the things that was in Michael Todd's book, it spoke about the past, how the past is still hunting us today, alleviating us from being able to move forward. And a lot of times our actions come from the things that we holding in the past. So as a growth and personal development, even in a relationship, you have to overcome those things. You have to build and grow from it. And one of the ways to build and grow from it, you have to talk about it. You have to share it with the other. Because I may do something thinking that it's okay. But on the other side with her, she may feel a certain way about how I'm doing it because of something she may be holding on, or vice versa, man, female, female to male. And but if I don't know, or if she don't know why I'm acting the way I'm acting, how can it ever be fixed or resolved? It'll become an overgoing cycle. So for me, or for the other person, is oh man, she's always mad. He's always mad. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that because I'm always getting this reaction. But do we understand why we getting that reaction? Do we understand why that person is acting like that? So here you go. It's time to have a, you know what? Hey, baby, when I do this and that for you, you act this way. Why? And sometimes that person might even not know they self because they might not have that self-awareness deep enough for them to even know that or recognize their actions is what could be hindering or hurting the relationship. So I
Yeah.
truly embrace people. We don't like to do it a lot. Pick up a book, read about relationship, how to better your relationship. Read, I mean, we adults here. We even had discussions on sex. We have discussion on marriage. We have discussions on beliefs because that plays a major part in your relationship. Y'all have to be on one accord as much as possible in order for you guys to move forward. So, I mean, I ain't mean to rumble on, but it's
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, that's okay. That's what you need to do because sometimes people need to hear what you have to say. So that's perfectly fine. And so that is great. I love that you guys read together. I think that's important. And if y'all don't like reading books together, you can get an audio book, right? And if your
yeah,
husband don't have an audio book or your wife don't have an audio book, you can just download it for him and say, "Honey, look, just all you gotta do is hit this button. Bam, you'll be listening to this, and then on your way to work or your way home from work, those times in any of your downtime, and it help bring you some downtime and bring you that awareness that you need about some things that you're not conscious of, right? Because a lot of times, a lot of things that we do are subconscious. And so that's part of it, right? Growing and developing, not only individually, but growing together. Because as you are married, you do those two do become one. A lot of times people say stuff like y'all start looking like each other after a while, or y'all start finishing each other's sentences, those type of things, which is true. I mean, it's possible. It can happen, and certainly, yeah, it does happen after a while. So one of the other big things is tell us a little bit about what are some qualities for you when it comes to healthy and unhealthy relationships.
well, one of the qualities that stands out to me the most is that nurturing of well, I don't want to say nurturing as a mother because everybody don't have children, but the simple fact of that companionship, you have that optimistic mind, to want to build, to want to grow, um that strong woman quality. I'm speaking as a man, towards women. That strong quality of a woman who has that hunger to just be something, to be somebody. Not willing to just accept, the easy route.
Mhm.
So I really love and genuinely like those qualities in the women. Aside from keeping herself up, maintain, hygiene and things like that. But that the mindset is huge for me. The mindset is huge for me. And the growing of it is most important for me, as I should say, because I think we won't be able to flourish unless we able to really elevate our mind.
Right. So
And elevating our mind will help us gradually improve on a lot of things in our relationship.
true.
So those are like that's my top
Okay.
quality priority is
So
the
what is
mindset
your
and stuff like that.
what's your deepest definition of love?
Huh?
What is your deepest belief or definition of love?
Happiness. My definition of love is finding that person who makes you happy. You know what I mean? And everybody has their own definition of love. So in order to find somebody that makes you happy, like for me, you have to know what it is that you like, what it is that you want for yourself. When you find that person that's able to fulfill those needs for you, you then find happiness. You're ultimately in love. You is nothing that you wouldn't do for this person because they're making you happy. They're fulfilling you in a way that someone else can't do for you. And those are the things like we have to always appreciate and value for ourselves and understand that my happiness, I can't make you happy. And this just my belief, I can't make you happy unless if I'm not happy. So that right there is a major part Like I'm glad you asked that question, because that's a question in itself that couples need to have. What does love mean to you? What and to understand what I need to do to make sure that I'm able to fulfill that for you. So for me is what makes me happy. What's gonna make me, wake up every day? Because like we said, just buying things, and I'm not, castrating anybody out there, but for me, paying bills ain't happiness. Anybody can pay my bills. And that's just me saying, speaking. Anybody can go out there and buy me some underwear, or buy me some flowers. Anybody can do that. You can go on Google and pick somebody and say, hey, just deliver me some flowers. Yeah, it's gonna make you happy for the moment, but it's a deeper level to that for me with love. It's not just for the moment though. Love is something that you want everlasting.
Okay, I love it. Well, okay, check this out. To me, here it is in a nutshell. My definition of love, and I want to give it now because it's 11:15, right? Time to wrap it up. Is in 1 Corinthians 13, right? It's called charity. Love is the same thing, right? Because, and the reason I'm saying this is because you got to find happiness on your inside. Because what if you, for in yourself, inside your own self? Because what if you don't find that person that you can be with for whatever reason? Because you know what, everybody's not going to be with somebody for the rest of their life. It's just that is life. That is just how it is. But you got to have something inside of you that makes you happy and that brings you joy and that brings you love. So this is what love is to me. Love suffers long. It is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not vaunt itself. It is not puffed up. So that means love is not jealousy. So if you find any of these things in your friends or your partner, don't have to be a romantic relationship. It could just be somebody at work that say, I'm your friend, girl, let's hang out. And you act jealous and envious. That's not love. That's not even a friend. Cut that person off. Yes. No apologies on what I just said. Love does not behave itself unseemly. Love does not seek her own, is not easily provoked, and love thinks no evil. So if you got somebody who is easily provoked, like in the heart of in a second, they just ready to go off because this happened, that happened. In other words, they're doing the shame and the blame. You did this, and you if you wouldn't have done this, and I wouldn't have. No, that's not love. That's not even friendship. Cut them off. Okay. So love does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So when you find somebody that can do that, besides God Himself, Yahweh, woo, hallelujah. Okay, then that's when you have found true love. Because love, we all come to this earth with a seed of love inside of us. It is up to us to uncover all the junk that the world puts on us, right? Like we come here as these diamonds, but you know what? To get that shine, you gotta it takes some pressure. Some you're gonna come up
Yeah.
against some things, right? Some things are gonna happen, but you gotta know on the inside, right, that the seed of love is there. You just gotta be determined. I'm gonna come out anyway. I'm gonna come out on the other side of this, and I'm gonna come out shining like the star that I am, and I'm gonna let my gifts be known unto all men, right? You got to know that I am more than a conqueror, that I can overcome this, that I can do this. And then when you meet that other person, you just like, that's so much more together that y'all both bring to the table. Yes. Okay, so I'm leaving y'all with
Yeah.
that. Now, let me leave you with it without leaving my own 2 cents. Okay, so just straight up here. Okay, so love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So when you find somebody that believes in you, that hopes for you, that is thinking nothing but good thoughts for you and not putting you down, not talking about you, right? Not dogging you out, not playing on you, cheating on you, having sex with other people, lying, and you know that you know on the inside. So here's how you know. I remember Steve Harvey even said this one time, and I believe this is true. If you think they are, they probably most likely are playing on you. You're just gonna leave it at that. No apology. So don't send me no nasty messages because if you do, and if you even think about sending me a nasty message because of what I said, then he probably clinging on you. You probably need to get somebody else. So that's it for the week. Love you guys. Peace out. I hope you enjoy your holiday the whole weekend long because I know I am. I'll put my cowboy hat on and give me some, hopefully some kind of rodeo. Even if I had to get YouTube and play something old over, Y'all know I like all cowboy stuff, all things that have to do with horses and rodeos and all that stuff. But thank you for joining us. If you are on the YouTube family, make sure that you subscribe. Trying to get those subscriber numbers up so I can afford to keep bringing these quality information to you. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Greg. Appreciate you. Hope next time the
No
sweetheart
problem.
will come with us.
Yeah, yeah, she'll be there.
I sure wanted to do the dating game with y'all. All right. Love you guys. Have a great
All right,
weekend. Peace
thank you.
out. Bye bye.
Bye bye.